Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the internet we use every day? Could there really be a part of the web hidden from all of us? A place where normal rules don't apply? And is it truly a world of crime and darkness? Or is there something deeper behind it? Today, we're diving into a place surrounded by fear, curiosity, and myth the dark web. But to understand it, we have to go back to where it all began. The story starts in the 1970s when the internet as we know it didn't exist yet. At that time, American scientists and military researchers were searching for a way to send sensitive data without revealing its source. Inside a government project called ARPANET, the first sparks of encrypted communication appeared. But the dark web wasn't born yet. In the 1990s, when the internet became public and accessible to everyone, privacy became a major concern. Governments, corporations, and hackers started tracking users everywhere. That's when a group of researchers from the US Navy began working on a project called Tor, short for the Onion Router. The goal was simple: to create a system where the sender of information could never be identified. Originally, Tor was built for American intelligence agents to communicate safely overseas without revealing who they were. But in the early 2000s, the technology was released to the public, allowing anyone to browse anonymously. And that's when a new world began to form. Deep under the visible surface of the web, a hidden network of websites started to grow. Sites that ended with .onion and could only be accessed through the Tor browser. This was the birth of what we now call the dark web. But contrary to popular belief, the dark web itself isn't illegal. In fact, only around 5% of its content involves criminal activity. A large part of it hosts free forums, independent journalists, political dissidents, and researchers who simply want privacy. Still, when full anonymity exists, some will always abuse it. In 2011, a website called Silk Road made history. It was a black market created by a man named Ross Ulbricht. Think of it as a hidden version of Amazon, and except almost anything could be bought and sold there. Payments were made with Bitcoin so that no trace could be found. In less than 2 years, transactions reached over $1.2 billion. When the FBI finally shut it down in 2013 and arrested Ulbricht, the world saw for the first time just how real and vast the dark web was. But the story didn't end there. After Silk Road was taken down, dozens of similar markets appeared, each one faster, smarter, and harder to track. Yet the dark web isn't only about crime. In recent years, activists in heavily censored countries have used it to share uncensored news and real stories. Journalists like Edward Snowden relied on anonymous networks to leak classified information and reveal hidden truths. In a way, the dark web became a gray zone between freedom and danger. But why does this space seem so frightening to most people? Maybe because we've been trained to see the internet as a bright, safe, and controlled environment. In the dark web, those rules don't apply. There's no search engine to guide you, no guarantee of safety, and that mystery has fueled both fear and fascination. Reports show that about 2.5 million people visit the dark web every day, but only a small fraction of them are involved in anything illegal. Many are simply looking for privacy or freedom. A journalist who doesn't want their government to know their sources. A citizen in a restricted country who just wants to speak freely without fear. At the same time, cybersecurity companies spend billions each year tracking cyber attacks that originate from the dark web. In 2024 alone, more than 3 billion personal records were sold across its forums, including credit card numbers, passwords, and even medical data. We now live in a world where the line between safety and anonymity is thinner than ever. On one side, the dark web protects free speech and personal privacy. On the other, it shelters criminals and hackers. But maybe the real truth is that the dark web is simply a reflection of us. A mirror of the internet, where light and shadow coexist, just like in the real world. Still, new advances in AI and blockchain are beginning to change this landscape. Algorithms are being developed to detect suspicious activity without breaking user privacy. But can the dark web ever be made completely transparent or controlled? Or must there always be a part of the internet that remains in darkness? Perhaps the dark web is like the internet's own shadow, As long as there's light, there will always be a shadow. And that leaves us with one final question. If we could see everything, would we still be truly free?